Hi, I'm Monk and this is the Monk Way. Ever since I started telling people that I teach about investing for a living, I always get a lot of questions about how to get started, how safe it is, or how to get rich. You know what my go-to response is? I tell them that anyone can be a millionaire. This is almost a guaranteed thing. You don't have to be rich or even well off to do this. Today I realized that I haven't shared this info with you guys. So stick around, because if you watch this whole video, without missing a second, you'll know exactly how you can become a millionaire with $100. I actually have over $300,000 right now, just for a bit of credibility. And please leave a like and share this video with one friend who really wants to get rich. Subscribe and leave a like for more investing videos. I make them every day. And check out my stock market group below, where I show you guys every single buy or sell I make in the markets, with my real stock portfolio of over $300,000. Now let's get started by having me explain it to you guys like I would a friendly stranger. More often than not, these conversations come from Uber rides. We would talk about what we do, and I would say that I teach people about investing. Usually they say something like, "Oh cool, I've always wanted to do that, but never got around to it." Surprisingly, not one driver so far has told me that they already invest. This is why the single most important thing in your life will be learning about investing. It'll give you an edge over 50% of people. I would go on to say that investing is actually easy, and it could be safe. The stock market is not a casino, like the movies might make it seem. If you can save a little bit of money every month, you can become a millionaire over time. Not everyone believes me when I say this, or even if they do believe me, they're not super excited about being a millionaire years later. Let's look at a scenario. What if I told you that in 40 years, you can have $1 million appear in your bank account, or you can choose to have only a few $1,000s? What would you choose? Obviously the $1 million, right? Would you be surprised if I told you that most people would choose a few thousand? But this is what a huge chunk of people are choosing every single day. By spending their money carelessly and not investing any of it, they're choosing to have nothing in the future. So the big question is this: how do you become a millionaire at almost no risk with $100? All you need to do this is a thing called index funds. This is basically a huge combination of stocks. The best index fund I recommend to everyone, and recommended by Warren Buffett, the best investor of all time, is the S&P 500. This has 500 American companies in one stock, making it very diverse and much safer than picking a single stock. We have companies like Google, Facebook, Apple, and Amazon on top. The strong companies make up for the weaker ones, so overall it's pretty stable. This is what I tell everyone who asks me about stocks. The average person should not be picking stocks. Just Google index funds and look up the S&P 500, ticker symbol VOO. This is a real way to become rich, even with a minimum wage job. So can you really become a millionaire with $100? The answer is definitely, but you'll need $100 a week, or $400 a month. The lazy person would not save that $400. Spending it on beer and toys might seem like a better idea, but not you. You're watching this video, so I'm sure that saving it is much easier for you. This is why I tell everyone, if you can save $400 a month, you'll be a millionaire in 40 years. There's no argument here. If you can save it, you will be rich. Sometimes this is met with hesitation. Some people say that they can't save that much because of student loans, or car loans, or maybe they just had a baby. And you know why I think? Well, you're probably not trying hard enough. It won't be easy with a bunch of loans, but if you start a side business and save that extra income, this is very possible. Let's look at how $100 a week, $400 a month can grow into $1 million. First of all, the index fund I talked about, it had an annual return of 10% a year over the past 100 years. This is a huge period of time to look into. We can assume for the next 40 years, we might see 10% a year. Maybe a bit higher, maybe a bit lower. But as long as America doesn't get destroyed, it's likely this index stays healthy. You might be thinking, wow, 10% a year. What is that, like $100 on my $1,000 investment? And yes, you'll be right. It's $100, and you should be glad to get it. With only $400 a month, that's $4,800 a year. Let's use a magical thing called a compound interest calculator. We can see where our money ends up after 40 years. We add 10% a year, compound it monthly because we're adding to it monthly, and here are the results after 40 years. $2.5 million. That's right, at retirement, you have over $2 million. This is higher than $1 million because of a thing called inflation. Prices go up every year, so $2.5 million is actually worth about $1 million of today's money. Accounting for inflation of 3% a year, we can enter 7% instead of 10%. You see the new result? Just over $1 million. It might not be the sexiest thing ever to have $1 million when you're 60, but would you rather have that or nothing? And we're talking about the bare minimum here of saving $100 a week. Let's see what happens if you save $200 a week, $800 a month. Using the same calculator, we will have over $5 million after 40 years. Just over $2 million, accounting for inflation. And if you wanted to be a millionaire faster, just save more money. Saving just $500 a week and investing it will make you a millionaire in 18 years. This magic happens because of the thing called compounding, where your money makes you money, and that money makes even more money. A simple example is this. If you had $1 million and it made 10% for 1 year, that's $100,000 you just made. But the next year, we're working with $1,100,000. 10% of that is $110,000. That extra $10,000 came from the new money. This keeps adding up year over year, making our money grow exponentially. Without compounding or that 10% a year, our $400 a month would only amount to $192,000 after 40 years. This means that we made over $800,000 just from that 10% a year in returns. This is also why you can't save to $1 million, unless you're making amazing money already. Now keep watching because there's more. You might be asking, there must be a catch, or everyone will be rich at retirement. And there is, a thing called emotional selling. Most people would sell a stock if it drops 50%. Imagine if you saved up 10 years of money. 1 year, instead of going up 10%, your money got cut in half. Can you really say that you won't be mad and panic sell when it starts dropping? This is exactly what happened during 2008 and 2000. But it always goes back up. This is why we still have savings accounts paying 3% a year maximum. Because there is still risk in the markets in the short term. A market can crash causing a 50% dip, but over the long term, it always recovers. This is so important, I can't stress this enough. If you're saving that money for 30 to 40 years later, why do you care if it drops in half now? Just relax and keep adding to it every month. Over the past 100 years, every single time the stock market crashed, it went back higher than before, meaning this 10% a year is actually including every crash we had in 100 years. This also means that some years might see a 20% rise, and some years a 30% drop. It's all about the long game. If you can be stable in the markets, you will be rich. This is guaranteed. I really want you guys to spread this knowledge. The next time someone asks about the stock markets or investing, tell them what I just told you. And the more people who knows about this, the better. Share this with one friend on Facebook, Instagram, or anywhere you think people might want to listen. And leave a like if you learned something new. Subscribe for more investing videos. I make them every day. And check out my stock market group below to see every single move I make in the markets. This includes when I buy or sell index funds. I have over $100,000 in them right now. Keep watching to become a millionaire the monk way.